Hi, I'm Jennifer Carson. I'm Director of the Dementia Engagement, Education, and Research Program, affectionately known as the DEAR program, in the School of Community Health Sciences at the University of Nevada, Reno, and co-facilitator of Dementia Friendly Washoe County.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Anna Karen Lamas. I'm the Family Care Associate for the Alzheimer's Association, and I'm the Nevada State Affairs Lead in Public Policy. I have the enormous honor and opportunity to work as the co-facilitator for the Dementia Friendly Washoe County Community Action Group alongside Jennifer Carson.
Dementia Friendly Nevada
and Dementia Friendly Washoe County
aim to create communities that are respectful,
educated, supportive, and inclusive of people living with dementia and their family care partners.
I can remember when my husband got his diagnosis, we were so stunned. We could barely talk about it to each other. We didn't know what to do. Should we not tell anybody? Should we wait and see? Well, we both have a friend who's a therapist. We went to see her, and I thank God we did that, because she said, just tell people I have dementia. I don't remember what your name is. And that helped him right at the beginning. And people don't have that. There's all this money being spent on Alzheimer's and all this money being spent on how to train the caregivers. There's no money being spent on how to help us who have it. How do we deal with it? How do we talk about it? How can we talk about it? I was diagnosed 2 or 3 years ago with mild cognitive impairment. The best thing that happened to me was taking I think it was a 7 or 10 week course for people with early stage dementia. It wasn't a course, it was a kind of a participatory therapy session. It was so wonderful to be with people like myself and to be able to speak freely.
I think the biggest thing that I have in my way is that I lose my train of thought in the middle of a thought, or that I just can't put words together. And so I just sit down and say, give me a minute. And I can rescue myself sometimes. At first I was shocked that I had the disease, and then I got over it. I thought, well, this is it. So it's just living, and this is my life.
Everything that I was missing was from my frontal lobe, and so she wanted to do a PET scan. And so she did, and she told me to come back in 2 weeks to get the results. And I came back in 2 weeks to get the results. And she said, have you heard the results of your PET scan yet? And I said, well, I thought that's what this meeting was all about. And she said, well, you have the beginning stages of Alzheimer's, so how do you feel about that? And I said, well, I'm really kind of a little shocked. I mean, I knew I was forgetting things, but I didn't think of that. A supportive community would not think, oh, it's just for old age. Everybody starts getting dumb then, or losing their memory. A supportive community would try to help.
When we speak of dementia-friendly communities, it's a place or a culture in which people who are living with dementia and their care partners, they feel supported, they feel respected, and they live in a society that recognizes their full potential as citizens, and that also bolsters their growth as any human being has a right to.
That's right. And that's why we add the tag dementia friendly and inclusive to most of the things that we say about dementia friendly Washoe County, because we really want to promote active citizenship. Communities can be friendly, but being friendly doesn't necessarily mean inclusive. So at Dementia Friendly Washoe County, we really expand the dementia-friendly movement to being a dementia-friendly and inclusive movement that helps connect people living with dementia with active engagement opportunities, active citizenship opportunities in their communities.
That's not entirely my role, but is one of my roles, is to help Roberta stay connected to this place. And this place is literally this house, but this place is this community. This place is this region from Virginia City to Tahoe. I mean, so, and to help facilitate activities and whatever, people, parties that will keep that sense of connection going as long as possible.
As a caregiver, the most important thing Bob's given me is me. And he always lets me decide. You know, he's always saying, I can pick you up, and I'll say, no, I can go ahead and drive. Okay. He really trusts that when I need him, I'll tell him.
No, I think I'm just a normal son, you know, just a son that, you know, and just trying to, you know, do the next good thing, you know, and to stay present. You know, I think that's the main thing, is just this moment right now is the most important time. And I think that's what my dad taught me, was just to be real present with him as he progressed.
Growing up, personally, I was providing care to my grandmother. I was the age of 12 years old, and this was a complete mystery to me. And now thinking about it, in retrospect, I realized just how many things I didn't know at the time. And something that she brought to me was not only the stigma that existed within my culture, but she also said to me that the problem was not having dementia. This problem was sort of being surrounded by people who devalued you, or a society that didn't recognize you because you suddenly had this diagnosis that was viewed as debilitating.
I think it takes patience when your loved one is sick or ill or disabled in some way. I mean, I don't feel sick, but I do get, sometimes I get mixed up, and then it passes, and then it's, well, there's nothing wrong here. So I think that we need to be talking about it with people, because it's such a, I mean, when I realized that I had it, I kind of went, oh my God, you know, what is this? And am I going to die? No, I'm not going to die right away. I'm going to die when I'm old.
They have a cabin up in the woods. He's always inviting me to go. This weekend he's going camping to Pyramid Lake with some friends. He's invited me to drive out there and spend the day with them. So he includes me. When they have parties at their house, I'm invited. I'm always the oldest person there. But just part of it. I'm a good part of him.
So people are still themselves. They're still, you know, it's not really their fault. So that's, I guess, what I want the community to realize, and to be nice if the whole world was nice to everybody.
What is important to note is that even if somebody has a diagnosis, there is a face behind that diagnosis, as well as a person who has wants, desires, needs, and goals that they in their own lives want to pursue. And that oftentimes is occluded by this tragic narrative.
It's interesting. I've worked with people living with dementia for over 30 years now. And what I've come to understand is that most of the suffering within the context of dementia doesn't come from dementia itself. It's not a part of the pathology of dementia. It really is the social response to people who are living with dementia. And that social response is being heavily informed by a biomedical view of dementia and the misconceptions that that view creates. And so if we want to transcend the tragedy of dementia, we have to open a space for social and relational perspectives of dementia. We have to open a space for possibilities, the possibilities that you can live well with dementia. And it's not just a possibility that's out there. I know people living with dementia who are living well with dementia, and their stories need to be told. Their stories need to be shared widely so people know that there is another story. There's another story. There's a new story of dementia being told by people living with dementia.
I have to get in 30 hours before I can go up to the next level. We have green dots and we can only walk dogs that are green dotted. I think I'm close to the 30 because I've been coming 3 days and sometimes 4 for about 2 hours each time. I really like to volunteer, and so this is one way of doing it. It helps me walk up the hills. You saw I got out of breath because I'm not doing all the exercises that I'm supposed to be doing, but so that's part of it. And I just like the idea of trying to save the dogs and give them a good last life if they don't get adopted.
Betty Holt and I decided we needed an art gallery here. I have an art background and she has she's kind of a collector and a maker. And we approached the director. We had to use a lot of diplomacy, and my diplomacy didn't work, but Betty's did. And we've had 3 shows now. The first one was art made by residents. They just came down here all the time. The opening was great. The second one was art of Nevada artists in our collections. And this is the 3rd show. And this is textiles. And these are all the textiles that are in residents' private collections.
Stand by this because the colors you have.
Oh, yeah, I match it.
Yeah.
There's 6 penguins now.
And so we just love where we live, and it's we always welcome people to come in and see us when they're in town, and we have spurts of people coming to stay with us. People we've met and known and traveled with over the years. So we carry on. We go out to dinner, and I want to go dancing pretty soon because we were going to do it since we moved into the house. Of course, we've gone out dancing maybe a couple of times.
We used to have dances in this house.
Yeah, we used to have dances in the house.
Dementia Friendly America and Dementia Friendly Nevada initiatives are volunteer-driven movements. And like any volunteer-driven movement, we rely upon volunteers. We need you at the table. We need to build capacity across our communities to support communities in becoming more dementia-friendly and inclusive. So we really hope that you will join us.
I also think it's a great opportunity for us as society members to engage in a bit of introspection on what are our own biases toward people, and not only people living with dementia, but in general. How do we perceive the world? And what parts of those biases can we correct and rectify with new learned knowledge? And that oftentimes is a journey. It's a spiritual journey, it's a transcendent journey into the lives of other people and into adopting new ways of thinking that perhaps we would have never ventured to. It's uncharted territory.
Come and partner with Dementia Friendly Washoe County. Come and partner with people living with dementia as we create a community where all members can thrive.
Home is the ground you stand on. And from standing on that ground, then you can feel safe. And then from there, you can take risks. You can go wherever you want to go. And that's what we've done that. I mean, Roberta went to Oxford. Home is not binding, but home is a center. And you can go out from the center to other parts of the universe, but you can still come back home and you get that kind of nourishment and that sense of safety and that sense of emotional well-being that is so crucial to, I think, a happy life.
It's such a weird kind of sickness, and especially in the beginning of my dementia, ostensibly. But now it's just kind of in the background. And it's like, hey, I'm still here.
But for me, I've grown, I think, number one, as a listener. And just, and again, it's about this sense of cultivating, of listening without judgment and being there without judgment. And we love having family dinners together, and we share poetry and family stories. And we try to make, Mom had this tradition of family dinners. We'd have to go around the room and say one thing that blah, blah, blah. We'd like roll our eyes or, you're grateful for, whatever. Oh God. But it's a really good way to connect, and we kind of try to keep that together.
It's just so nice to have, I don't deserve it, to have such great children. It is.
I had a dream of riding my bicycle across America. But then when my husband got sick, I wasn't able to ride as much because I had to pay somebody to be with him when I wasn't there. And so I sort of still have that dream, but I'm 74. And I think I could still do it. But, maybe go and have a sign on my back to support Alzheimer's. Go down the hill. Don't look for more treats.